Ladies and gentlemen, a disclaimer on the upcoming fight is the following. Due to a missed weight yesterday experienced by Martin Achebi, only Ncedo Gomba is eligible to win the vacant lightweight title. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is Thaiholics Fight Promotions, this is TFP 5 Level Up, and this is the main event of the evening. 5 rounds of pro action for the WMO Continental Africa Super Lightweight Championship. Introducing to you first, and fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 65.15 kilograms and standing 1.71 meters tall, with a professional record of 13 wins and a single loss. Fighting out of Ultra Fitness Gym in Nairobi, Kenya. Introducing the WBC Africa Welterweight Champion, Martin Achebi. And his opponent will be fighting out of the red corner with the trunk colors of all red and weighing in at 63.05 kilograms. An excellent professional record, 61 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws. Fighting out of Iron Tiger in Cape Town, South Africa. Introducing a 5-time WMC champion, the reigning WMO Continental Africa Welterweight Champion, Ncedo Gomba.
Welcome aboard.
Right, as we get underway, yeah, both these guys, as we heard in the announcements, current African champions for 2 different world organizations. Ncedo Gomba, the WMO welterweight champion. Martin Achebi, the WBC welterweight champion. This time coming down by around 3.5 kgs to fight for the super lightweight title. But as mentioned earlier, Martin Achebi no longer in contention due to missing weight last night.
And Martin Achebi has rehydrated to full tank status.
Yeah, definitely noticeably larger than Ncedo in the ring.
Just in case you're wondering at home, what is the kind of punishment that you get for missing weight in the sport of professional Muay Thai? Well, not only do you miss out on a chance to win this belt, but also financially.
Yeah.
20% of the purse will be ceded to Ncedo Gomba, so he's made a little bit of extra money, and 10% back to the promoter of the event.
But I think the biggest thing, of course, not getting to fight for across division, well, not division, sorry, yeah. Firstly, they are both fighting out of their normal divisions of welterweight, so this is slightly lighter in the first place. But also, it would have been a great chance for Martin to, you know, lay claim to a WBC as well as a WMO title. If Ncedo gets this one tonight as well, it'll be his second one. As mentioned, he's the welterweight champion and now fighting for the super lightweight belt at 63.5 kgs, the upper limit. As he performs his white creed to the applause from the crowd.
You know, just so we can get some color to Ncedo Gomba's career, Carl Bergman, where would you say he stacks up in the historical importance of South African Muay Thai fighters on a world level? Is he maybe near the top?
Yeah.
Is the top?
No, I'd say he's definitely right up there. I mean, he launched today claim to being one of Africa's best, not just a South African great, but I mean, the accolades he's achieved, the amount of fights he's had, you know, stadium champion, world champion, African champion. These are accolades that not everyone's going to get. Even some of the best fighters, you know, don't get a chance to fight for these titles. So it's great to see a guy like him making the most of it. With over, you know, close to 70 fights to his name now, fighting some of the greats in Thailand as well. So I'd say it's definitely right up there.
5 rounds of action headed your way. It's for the vacant WMO Continental Africa Super Lightweight Championship. Only Ncedo Gomba is eligible to win this belt because of the missed weight experienced by Martin Achebi, fighting out of Nairobi in Kenya.
With Martin weighing in at 65 yesterday, it'll be quite interesting to see what his rehydrated weight would be. I wouldn't be surprised if he's stacked on another 3 to 4 Ks, maybe even more.
I saw him yesterday at the weigh-in. Obviously, he didn't look good. He was wobbling in the walk, and you know, okay, he's rehydrated now to a big size, genuinely around the welterweight to super welterweight class.
Yeah, look at that division, that difference in height there.
But what is that going to do down the stretch of this fight?
Yeah, I guess we'll see where this goes as well. I mean, Ncedo probably would have fought a lot of guys much bigger than him, you know, like he's quite a tiny guy, and especially having fought in Thailand, not always getting correctly matched up weight-wise and size-wise. You know, it's for him to try and set the tone, get on the inside, look for those shots, and use good technique, importantly.
Just like that.
Exactly. Catch the kicks, walk your opponent down, and make sure that you're sapping his energy as you're going through it. You know, the clinch is a great place to do that. As you said, Martin had a really big cut. He's hydrated now, but, you know, the effects of that will start to tell as this fight wears on.
Gomba, traditionally the slowest of starters in the first 2 rounds, heats things up. He's coming off a draw that he experienced in Malaysia against a fighter that he has beaten previously in his career before.
Takes a quick slip there on the inside of the ring. Martin also fairly slow at the blocks, but he's definitely got a lot of power in those kicks. We saw the way that he rocked Ncedo there.
Big set of legs from both of these guys.
Looking for a big sweep. Great work from Ncedo to stay composed and return and get the sweep himself.
This is where the skill element to being the smaller guy in the fight comes in.
Yeah, and also because Martin's a bigger guy, you know, you're naturally going to assume he's going to put pressure on, and that's where the guys with a good technique use that pressure against you. And Muay Thai, it's a bit of a chess game at the same time. You know, you get into the clinch, look for the sweeps, catch the kicks, those sort of things. Basically, take away their strengths from them.
Of course, Ncedo Gomba coming off a welterweight loss here at TFP 4 to Pasquale Amoroso of Italy in a pulsating battle that went down. Both fighters bled for the cause.
Yeah, so that was for the international title as well, the WMO international belt. I think at the time Amoroso was ranked number 11, but slipped into the top 10 rankings after that victory. Maybe earning himself a title shot soon. Ncedo wants to get back into the winning column here after a loss and a draw, to add to the 60-odd wins he already has to his name. Good work there to nullify the knee and then find one of your own.
It's a tough guy competition on the ropes right now.
Interesting first round. I feel like I don't really want to make the calls round by round the way the last fight went.
I'm as stunned as you are, my friend.
Yeah, but great work from Ncedo just to, as I said, nullify most of the weapons. Great sweep there from Martin Achebi. Puts Ncedo on his back for the first time in this round, in this fight. Touch of the gloves. Guys go back to the corners for a 2-minute break. I think Ncedo did a good job there of just controlling the pace, making sure that he was able to nullify most of Martin's weapons, except maybe that high kick that was maybe paying dividends, but mostly catching Ncedo on the gloves, so nothing to be necessarily concerned about, but something to look out for as we go down the road in this fight.
Yeah, just like you, I've given up trying to score rounds here now. Last fight, Anthony Mailer, I am stunned that he was on the losing end of a split decision in a fight that I thought was comprehensively 5-0. 5-0 to Mailer every single round. I can't see how Chauke even got a single sniff of a round, yet somehow he ended up being the split decision winner. So, as shocked as I am.
Yeah, what was quite interesting was that when Ant went back to his corner, I saw Nick mouth something that looked to me like either he was saying you're behind or he's saying like it's very close, to which I was shocked at the time, and that was going into the 4th round, I think. So yeah, I mean, as we said, this is, you know, something that judges are sitting at different angles to what we are, seeing different things, seeing lands that we might not. But I mean, it looked like a comprehensive victory from Ant's side to me, but again, that's why you don't leave it in the judges' hands, because they're making different calls to what other people are seeing sometimes.
In which case, I'm happy that we both saw it the same way, my friend. And here we go with round number 2. Ncedo Gomba up against Martin Achebi.
Ncedo instantly going to that pressure attack, the style of walking forward, stalking his prey, looking for those shots, but he's got to be careful he doesn't walk into some big shots here. Doing well to work the body. I mean, that's obviously going to be a hallmark of his technique right now, being the shorter fighter, finding those body shots. And that's something we've seen a lot in tonight's rounds, though. I mean, a lot of the guys have been working the body, you know, not just there in the clinch. A lot of boxing going down to hit the bodies hard and dropping guys and big shots coming in. Ncedo happy to clinch on the inside. Exchanging knee for knee and a big sweep coming from Ncedo. He goes down within the same time, but the technique was pretty good to get him on his back in the first place. Martin getting a low kick into a big body kick and then eats a big shot from Ncedo. Guys are happy to just be working in the clinch here. Ncedo's got those stabbing knees coming through. He's probably looking for another big sweep. And because his center of gravity is a little bit lower, he can get underneath Martin, under his hips and sweep him from his feet. Martin also needs to be careful that he doesn't let Ncedo slip out from the clinch and look for a big elbow there. His arms are low down.
You know, I really am seeing the deep nuances of what it is to the sport of Muay Thai, being new to the sport myself. But just watching how these men try and manipulate each other in the clinch is unlike anything we've seen in any of the other fights that have come up.
Yeah, so that's an experience thing, you know, and obviously it's a technique thing. Not everyone goes for the clinch. A lot of guys like to stand on the outside and look for their shots, but I mean, clinch fighting is an important and critical aspect to Muay Thai that the guys need to be masters of. If they get caught in a situation where they don't know how to clinch, it's going to show. And one of the things that you do for that is just clinch. You know, if you're training in Thailand, you're probably going to clinch at least once a day, working, you know, usually without gloves. Just basically, like you said, uncovering those nuances, figuring out what happens when a person's body does a move like that, looking for sweeps like that from Ncedo, Gomba.
And that looked easy.
Yeah, exactly. That's experience. And he knows where the body's going, he knows where the pressure's coming from, and just looks for a quick chip. And Martin did the same to him there. You know, it's all about manipulation of those forces coming from your opponent. And then also making sure that you don't eat big shots while you're in the clinch, like a big elbow. So it's all about hand positioning. And yeah, so Ncedo doing really well here to back Martin into the corner.
And just like there being feints and punches and kicks from the outside, is there a lot of feint work that can be done in clinching as well?
Yeah, there can be. A lot of the times you're busy, more likely to try to manipulate balance, so you'll be sweeping a person to one side just to make them lean in, and then you got them on that side, you can sweep them off their feet again. So there's a lot of things you can do. You know, I'd say it's similar to a feint. You leading them a certain direction, making them feel comfortable in that position, and then taking them off their feet. But everyone's different, you know. Some guys like to use power in the clinch, some guys are a lot more sneaky with their trips and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all something you figure out and what works for you.
The fight so far becoming a study in the inside clinch work world of Muay Thai. These two, you can see, not just being professional fighters, but veritable levels above what we've seen tonight. And just from the perspective of clinching alone is unlike anything I've seen the whole night. Okay, fine. It's been a majority amateurs, pro-ams, but the difference between the pro-ams that you've seen at the top versus the pros that you're seeing right now. That's years and years of experience that you got to pick up there.
Yeah, and also that these guys are happy to sit in the clinch. You know, they're both comfortable enough. A lot of the times when, you know, one of the guys is maybe better at clinching, he'll engage and then either get stuck in a static position where his partner or his opponent will just grip him tight and not do anything. So this is a case where both of these guys are willing to engage and therefore exchange blows in the clinch. They're not backing down from that and not necessarily trying to tie up. They're using it to strike. Even the stance that they adopted in the beginning, they're super close to each other. They're happy to be in the pocket. Martin's liking to throw those uppercuts as Ncedo comes in as well. He's finding them quite often. Ncedo maybe trying to slip his head in there and look for an elbow. See, getting a lot more aggressive in the clinch now.
He's hanging on and moving around with Achebi.
And it also makes sense for Ncedo because he's the shorter fighter. He wants to get on the inside, and because he's comfortable in his clinch, that's a good space for him to be.
And make Achebi carry you.
Yeah. And then look for those sweeps, put him off balance, and then put him into the corner again and do the same thing. Look for those strikes, make sure he's dominating in the exchanges.
And is this the right, obviously, tactic to be using for a guy who struggled to make the weight, is to carry an extra few pounds in the form of
Yeah,
Gomba?
for sure, and we're seeing that already, you know, like, not necessarily that he's out of this fight, but that, you know, he's getting frustrated and he's using a lot of energy to deal with Ncedo's style of attack and being walked down, which is probably also something he's not used to because he's probably normally the bigger fighter.
I'm not used to seeing this. This is the first time I've seen Ncedo Gomba up close with this kind of game plan that he's using.
Yeah.
A to Z.
And again, it's because Martin's willing to engage in this way. He's not necessarily tying him up and pulling him right up against his body. You know, he's also looking for those gaps himself, so that gives Ncedo the space to work. The guys are making it dirty as well.
On his back, and also I think it looked like a headbutt on the floor by accident as Achebi landed heavily on top of him. Again with the close clinch work, engaged by Ncedo Gomba.
It'll be interesting to know if this was something that they maybe, you know, thought about going into this fight, knowing that he missed weight, knowing that he had a big cut, you know, to make him go deep.
Elbows thrown on close from Martin Achebi.
Ncedo shake of the head saying, bring that, I'm ready if you're ready.
And the joke is, you haven't seen a lot of elbows being thrown by Ncedo, and they are dangerous when he lets them go.
Sure. And that's also what he's doing, you know, he's wearing his opponent down, he's looking for those inside shots. If he starts to see that Martin's not actually engaging in the clinch, he might just start slipping through the middle as if he's going for the clinch and then slipping for strikes. So it's all a reactive process as well. It's about what your opponent's doing, what he's willing to do. Nice pull there from Martin. But you can see Ncedo's comfortable. He's basically smiling there. They re-engage straight away. But I'd also like to see some big body shots from Ncedo, you know, just because there's not really much defensive work from Martin when he thinks he's coming in for a clinch. You can throw a nice big body shot there with his arm sides.
You know, I tend to wonder one thing about Martin Achebi is being in Kenya, Martin Avery, who is also from Kenya. I'm sure these two have met if they don't train at the same gym. So he knows what knees to the stomach and clinch work is all about.
Yeah.
Martin Avery, when he fought here at TFP 4, was a study in inside knee work and clinch work, unlike I've ever seen before, and it's a very similar thing that's playing out right here.
Yeah, and what Martin Avery was really good at as well was creating that space. And Ncedo's actually closing the space and then working on the inside, grappling and throwing lots of knees from the side, and only really throwing forward those piercing knees when he's got Martin switched around or he's pulling on him. But with Martin Avery, what we saw was he was creating the space himself, taking a step back and throwing that front knee. That's a good way to generate forceful knees. Ncedo's working a slightly different game, even though he's also, you see, there we had that example where he actually opened up and put his knee forward.
So a big shout out to Martin Avery, I'm sure sitting at home watching the stream back in Kenya. My man, we can't wait to see you back in Cape Town plying your trade here in front of us. Absolute fan favorite from the last TFP, and hopefully we see you back here soon. As we move into the following round for this WMO championship that only Ncedo Gomba is eligible to pick up should he get the W here tonight.
Yeah, so this has been a really grinding fight, you know, maybe something that the fans weren't expecting for this last round, but technical work from both guys. Martin is looking slightly fatigued now. Ncedo maybe going to switch it up a bit. See, now he's not engaging as early, and Martin also moving away, so also not willing to engage as quickly. Might see it open up a little bit now, this penultimate round.
Good elbow on the inside from Martin Achebi.
Nice little sweep there as well.
And there, a rare elbow from Ncedo Gomba.
Ncedo's also, I think, at this point trying to put in a little bit of pressure. We saw at the end of the round he was looking for a big punch. There's opened up a cut in the hairline of Martin Achebi there from that elbow, I presume. And as they came close to us here, you can hear the thudding on the legs. Ncedo working all parts of the body. Martin's knees looking a lot less effective. He's trying to listen to his corner. He's still trying to put it in, but he's breathing really heavily. His mouth's open. Gum guard looks like it's about to drop. That cut on his head now as well.
Gomba is used to splitting heads. Of course, he's done that before here at TFP 3 Continental Collision.
It's 2 big shots there. Nice avoidance. Yeah. Ncedo loves working that elbow game. Then the mouth guard pops out for Martin Achebi. Maybe breathing a bit heavily now.
Gomba just shuffling forward at a relentless pace.
He seems to be careful he doesn't walk into an elbow himself here. He's got a bit of a welt in his head, I see. Also another stabbing elbow there. Body shots from Martin. He's getting backed up now. And in this situation, you wouldn't say he's the bigger guy, you know? He's being chased around, forced into the fight that Ncedo wants to fight. And Ncedo coming in with those stabbing elbows over the top.
It would have been interesting to see the difference had these two fought at the welterweight weight limit.
Definitely.
Is Martin Achebi a different fighter where he doesn't have to cut so much weight?
And although he's a WBC champion, like, he doesn't have as many fights as Ncedo as well. So, I mean, a lot of the time those experience comes in these later rounds, you know, just putting that pressure on. But definitely, I think that cut is affecting him. The weight cut, I mean, not necessarily the cut of his head. But he's still in it. He's still looking for some good technique, looking for sweeps, engaging. And referee Jean-Andre Blaine stepping in. He's been happy to let most of the clinch work go because the guys are, you know, working effectively in the clinch. He breaks it up there. Martin looking quite tired, but still throwing big shots, big knees on the inside, big kicks from the outside, and landing every now and again some, you know, good shots as Ncedo's coming in.
Keeping him pinned with his back on the ropes in the corner.
Yeah,
Martin Achebi has a lot of work to do to try and get out of there, and he's only exhausting himself by playing into the whims of Ncedo Gomba.
And a bit of a smothering technique as well, you know, when they do break and Ncedo's going hunting, then Martin's getting some big kicks, some big punches in. So it's, you know, quite good for Ncedo to stay inside, wear him down, break him down in the clinch, and then hopefully put that pressure on and find those strikes like the big elbows, maybe a big knee coming off the clinch as well. I haven't seen if they've tried to, okay, they're trying to stop that cut now on Martin's head. Got 2 minutes to do it, but it doesn't seem too bad. It's not gushing.
Nothing in a bit of Vaseline couldn't plug temporarily until another elbow lands. The joys of 2 minutes in between each round, just in case both eyes are cut and your head is split. Minor
then you got to get out there and just do the job. Anytime I think they'll stop it is if it's really getting in your eyes and you can't see.
Been a terrific crowd that we've had in here tonight at the Cape Town's Grand West Casino and Entertainment World. TFP 5 level up is what it has been called, and it certainly has been a level up in our main event in terms of strategy and tactics that we've seen playing out here tonight.
And I think when we came up with that name, the idea was that the guys who were leveling up were going to be the title contenders who had to fight an eliminator to get there. But I think what we actually saw, true to form of the name, was that the champions came and showed they've been leveling up. They haven't just been sitting idly waiting for everyone to come and challenge them. They're working in the gyms, getting better as they go, and we saw that in both of those title fights. And yeah, we have another title fight on the line as well as Ncedo Gomba and Martin Achebi get back to the fifth and final round for tonight's action. Ncedo smothering, working on the inside. Martin trying to create that distance, but just getting completely smothered as Ncedo walks him down. Nedo happy to play around. Let Martin come to him for a change in this 5th round. Just needs to make sure he doesn't get too cheeky and eat something that he wasn't anticipating. But doing a great job of walking Martin down again.
But there is a sadistic playfulness about Ncedo Gomba. He does these kinds of things when he's happy and
comfortable. When he's like confident in the way things are going and the way he's working, and maybe if he's eaten a few shots, he thinks, is that it? Is that all you got, kind of thing? So I'll come forward if that's what you're going to throw.
The theatrics and showmanship that only Muay Thai can show us on full display, thanks to Ncedo Gomba.
I'd like to see some big kicks from Ncedo now that Martin's defenses aren't as high as they were earlier. Sneaky little feints.
No, he's got his hands in his pockets right now. Try to draw out the kick, try to set up a sweep, but just got it all wrong.
Uncharacteristic big looping shot from Ncedo there. See he's going to work the body a bit. Those thudding shots to Martin's body, sapping the energy again, sapping him by grabbing onto him and clinching in the corner. Referee Jean-Jay Blaine separates them. I think we also didn't really see the crispest version of Martin Achebi we might have seen if he had been on, on good form. I think a lot of his punches and stuff looked maybe a little bit lazy, maybe a little bit tired, and this clinch work definitely draining him. Big shot there from Ncedo late in this 5th round. 30 seconds to go. Martin replies. Big kick from Martin, landing on the glove of Ncedo. Deep, looks for a little cheeky inside trip. Ncedo comes with a big overhand himself, and the guys are back to the clinch for the final 20 seconds of this fight. Referee breaks them up. He wants to see some more action on the outside. As the music intensifies with 10 seconds to go, the clap rings out. Big swing from Ncedo and a miss. Great technical fight from the guys. They ended off dancing on their feet. Ncedo jumps the ropes. Happy with his performance. Again, we're going to go to the judges' scorecards now. Well, yeah, as Devon makes the announcement. Who's got it?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a massive round of applause to these two fighters. Included in that round of applause, our sponsors, Endurade, for giving a hamper to each winner that you've seen tonight. And finally, one other round of applause for the man holding the belt in the middle of the ring here, Nicholas Radley. Thank you so much for your tireless work in the sport of Muay Thai. Of course, the co-president of the South African Muay Thai organization will be handing over the belt to the winner as we go to the judges' scorecards after 5 rounds of pulsating action. Your winner coming by way of split decision victory, and new WMO Super Lightweight Continental Africa Champion, Ncedo Gomba.
Great ending to TFP 5 level up. Double champ, welterweight and super lightweight, Ncedo Gomba, WMO Africa champion, once again.
That draw is coming up right now.